Welcome back. With the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and an increased interest in the presidential election, more and more people are voting early or through the mail. And while Washington has been voting through the mail for a decade now, Idaho is seeing a big increase in voters requesting those absentee ballots.
But how does voter turnout look so far in Spokane and Kootenai Counties? Ian Smay of the KREM 2 Voter Access Team joins us from the newsroom with the latest numbers on early voting here in the Northwest.
Spokane and Kootenai counties are both seeing a surge in registered voters this year, and on top of that surge, many people in both counties are voting earlier than previous elections. With more people registered now than in 2016 in both counties, early voting rates are suggesting that turnout may be high this year. Both Spokane and Kootenai counties surpassed the number of voters registered this year as compared to 2016. In 2016, Spokane saw 312,540 ballots issued across the entire county. But as of Monday, the county lists 360,714 active registered voters, an increase of almost 50,000. Kootenai County is seeing a similar rise. The county saw 77,885 registered voters for the 2016 election. But at last check, 100,289 people were registered for the current election, marking an increase of more than 22,000 voters. But just because voters are registering doesn't mean they're actually voting. So, are voters in Spokane and Kootenai counties following the national trend of turning out to vote more in this election? That remains to be seen, as none of the counts are official yet, but we do have some insight on people who have already voted. In Spokane County, a little over 51% of voters had returned their ballots as of Monday. That means with a week to go, the 2020 voting turnout is about 25% behind that of 2016, when a little over 76% of voters casted a ballot. It's important to remember that ballots in Washington are valid as long as they are postmarked by Election Day, meaning this number could continue to rise in days following the election. Over in Kootenai County, a similar story. As of 4 p.m. today, a little over 37% of registered voters have already casted a ballot. In 2016, voter turnout reached over 87%, meaning that with a week to go, half of registered voters need to cast a ballot to reach 2016's turnout rate. Another thing to note, Idaho is an in-person voting state, meaning this number will likely spike on Election Day itself. This rise in registered voters and possible rise in turnout as a whole isn't limited to the Northwest. In fact, on Monday, the number of ballots cast in this election surpassed the number of early or absentee ballots cast in the 2016 election. According to the Associated Press, more than 58 million ballots have been cast so far nationwide. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.